Hello, my name is Helena, and in this video we will talk about Helenium proxy for cross-platform integration. So, how to work with Helenium proxy you can find on main page in GitHub. So here we can see the full list of repositories, and also here are some repositories as examples for Java, JavaScript, Python, and .NET. As a code example, we will use this repository, Helenium example Python. Here you can see different test examples. So for instructions, we will use Helenium repository, main repository in this list. Let's click on it, and here we can see the README file with instructions how to install Helenium for your project. And let's use it step by step. However, some steps are quite simple. You need to clone Helenium repository with this command. Let's click and go to our project. So for now, I'm in the root folder, and let's paste here our git clone command. And let's click reload from disk. Here we can see a new folder named Helenium, and all necessary files for using Helenium you can find here. So let's look what we have. First of all, it's the same README file with instructions. Also here we can find several YAML, Docker Compose YAML files, and also browser.json file. Also here it is DB folder with init SQL file. Here we can see the scheme for Helenium database. Let's look at some other files. The first file is Docker Compose Selenium grid.yaml file. This is Docker Compose. In case if you need to use Helenium with Selenium grid for running tests, here are all necessary images. In addition, there is Docker Compose.yaml file. Here, this file is for using Helenium with Selenoid, and in this video we will use this Docker Compose YAML file for setup. Some example will be with Selenoid. So what we can see here, first of all, is Postgre database container, the same as in Docker Compose Selenium grid. This container uses an init SQL file that we've previously seen. Also here we can find the container for Helenium backend, which process some data for Helenium database, store locators, store Helenium results, and etc. The other container is select imitator container. This is more flexible logic for comparing that Helenium uses. And the next container is Helenium proxy container. This is the main container in both files. You can find the same container also in Docker Compose Selenium grid file. Here it is. And in general Docker Compose YAML, if you use Selenoid, there are two additional containers, Selenoid and Selenoid UI. In case you need to somehow change configurations, for example, you want to use video recording or storing logs in a specified text file and etc., you can read the instructions in main Docker page, main Selenoid page. So in documentation, you can find it here, and here all necessary information about how to use Selenoid. And all this documentation will be suitable for those two containers and also for this browser JSON, where we store all information about available browsers for run. Also, if we look at README file, here is this command, docker pull selenoid cron 102. This is for pulling necessary images of this of available browsers. So that means if you use in browser.json file those versions of different browsers, as an example, there is two versions of Chrome browser and two versions of Firefox browser. If you want to use some additional versions, less or higher, or some example, for example, some another browsers like Opera or Edge, you just need to add here parameters for these browsers and configurations. And again, the necessary information you can find on the documentation. This will be also available here. Okay, and that's all about installation. We just need to run git clone command, then pull all necessary browser images, and then run docker compose app command. So let's go to this folder named Helenium, and let's paste docker compose app command. All containers are up and running. Let's check it in Docker desktop. Here they are. Also, let's check it in terminal with docker ps command. And also we can see that all our containers are running. And let's see what we have in our test example. So let's come back again to README. And here you can find language examples of creating WebDriver. So for Helenium proxy, we have to use remote WebDriver with URL localhost 8085 as an example. Here is a Java example of creating this WebDriver. Also, you can find Python example, .NET example, and JavaScript examples. For now, we need this one. Creation of WebDriver. And here we have this. So be careful with the port, because it should be 8085. This is a small test case. We just open the browser using this page. Let's click on it. What next? Then we try to find the element with this locator. Click submit button and try to find this element again. After clicking button, the element will be generated dynamically and changed. So let's firstly find the element. Yeah, here it is. Then click change locators button and try to find again. This disappeared. And on this tab, healing should appear and the test should pass. Also, as we use in Selenoid, let's find Selenoid UI on localhost 8080. Here we can see it. And let's run our test. Let's look what we have in Selenoid. A new session has been created with Chrome browser. And here you can see some logs with the appeared healing. Also, you can find that report has the report available by this link. Let's find the same logs in Docker container, so as the same in Helenium proxy container. So you can see the same logs here and report available by this link. Let's look at it. And here we can see that our locator has been changed and the new locator is input new name. Also, we can see here the screenshot with highlighted element that has been healed. And finally, here our test has been passed. And that's all about Helenium proxy installation. Thanks for watching.